Christiana Valcheva kept a record of all the terrible things that happened while she was in prison in Libya, just in case.
Yuma gave the order, electricity, and went out. I was thrown to the floor. They tied wire around my feet and hands. I was racked with pain.
Christiana and Nasia withstood 8 years of torture in Libyan jails. The memories of that time still haunt them. 13 years ago, they were arrested in Benghazi under the absurd charge of having infected several hundred children with HIV. They then faced a show trial and potential execution. The nurses were eventually released thanks to a deal between the European Union and Libyan leader Muammar Gadhafi. The women find no consolation in the mass protests and military uprising against the Gadhafi regime. The National Transition Council includes some of the leader's henchmen from back then. Former Justice Minister Mustafa Abdel Jalil now admits that the Libyan courts had been instrumentalized to support the regime. And although he wants to wipe the slate clean, for the nurses, he remains the man who signed their death sentences.
I doubt democracy can come about in Libya with such people. But we know that from Eastern Europe. The first governments after communism also had the old guard. And if you look around today, 20 years on, you can still find them in the political elite.
They're still waiting for compensation. But even if Libya does become a democracy and compensation is awarded, the torture episodes still feature in their dreams, playing a role in their daily lives.
I try to live a normal life, but I notice I'm different. The memories from Libya are awful. The whole thing killed my marriage.
Nasia and Christiana console each other. They're frustrated, not knowing the exact background to the court case as well as what led to their release. The files will not be made public until 2027.
I want Libya to become a closed case for me, part of the past.
Nasia, who tried to kill herself while in jail, is now dependent on help.
I cannot understand why the French help us, but not the Bulgarians. We still get invitations to France. It's as if they've forgotten about us here.
It took years for the Bulgarian government to start helping the nurses, including paying for a lawyer. Now the government considers the case to be a burden and has an eye on securing economic links in the post-Gadhafi era.
We don't want to see old guard defectors in power, but their story has left its mark in Bulgaria. It's even led to hostility towards normal Arab people. If they have a revolution there, then the prejudices have to stop.
Christiana Valcheva has gotten used to her new life. She harbors no prejudices, but now believes that if Gadhafi goes, the Libyans will need a long time to overcome the terrible legacy. For her, it's a day-to-day process.
I want to see and learn new things. I'm studying French and am pretty advanced. I like traveling, and I'm trying to be happy and catch up on what was taken from me.
But there's one thing she certainly does not want to return to: working as a nurse.